Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a truly magical day today. Thanks for joining us. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're logging in from this morning. So glad to see you. Today is a Q&A all about our amazing Royal Caribbean cruise adventure. We're comparing it to Disney. We're thinking about the comparison, the food, the shows, Coco Cay, Castaway Cay. We're comparing it all, and I want to know if you've been on either of these ships before, where you're logging in from. There's a poll running in the chat. If you don't see it, that's okay. We're asking if you've experienced Disney, Royal, both, or neither before. I know there are other there are other cruise lines. Need some tea this morning. Here we go. Cruise tea, as you can see. There are other cruise lines we're going to try: Princess, Norwegian, Celebrity. There are so many others for us to try, but I want to know about these two today because that's what we're comparing. Hey, we're good to see everybody from Virginia, Ohio, Orlando, New Jersey, Illinois, Florida, Michigan, Florida, Arizona, Jacksonville, okay, Louisiana, California, Boston. A lot of great places logging in this morning. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed our cruise adventure on Royal Caribbean. Let me tell you, I have re-caught the cruise bug. I have re-caught it because I just can't get enough. I cannot get enough, and I'm looking forward to sharing a lot more cruise adventures, which I've got planned. A lot of surprises really close coming up soon, which I'm looking forward to, but it's going to be great. Look forward to it. But today we're going to answer those questions. Let's go ahead and get started with a couple of them. If you type your question into the chat and I do not get to it within about 5 minutes, write it again, and we're going to make sure we get to as many as possible today. Let's go ahead and dive in to the Q&A that we're going to talk more about the cruise itself. One of the first questions I saw from those who logged in early, thanks for being here early, was the activities on board. Yes, there were a lot of fun activities on board Royal Caribbean, and I really enjoyed it. But I think one of the main standouts were what the activities were based for, right? So you got the rock climbing, the ice skating, the surfing on the flow rider. Those things are meant for kind of an older age group. So I think there's a lot to really love about Royal Caribbean's activities in that regard. All right, we're going to go ahead and end our poll here since we're getting started. Great guesses. Oh, Georgia, Texas. Aloha. There you are. Seth, so anxious for my next cruise. Oh, you're going to have a great time, Jason. You're going to have a fantastic time. My fiance and I are booked on a cruise because of your videos. Michael, I'm so glad that you enjoy that. Based on our poll, we've got some friends who have been on Royal, and some friends who have been on Disney. Most friends have been on Disney or neither. So you've never tried a cruise before? Well, I'm here to answer those questions today. That's what today's video is all about, to answer those questions, to make sure that you've got a better idea. Do you arrange? I did not. Oh, Kelly, great question. I did not get a chance to get on board the maiden voyage of the Disney Wish, but I will be on a follow-up sailing, and it's going to be an adventure unlike any other. We're doing something special on that sailing. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because you know I like surprising you, but something special. Okay, here come the great questions. Coco Cay or Castaway Cay? Coco Cay and Castaway Cay are very different. I love them both. I really do. Between the two, I think there are some pretty big differences. The water park on Coco Cay, the amount of things to do on Coco Cay, the excursions were pretty similar. The food was delicious on both. Between the two, they're very close. I give it to Castaway Cay because that's kind of where I cut my teeth for cruising. But you're going to have fun on either one. They're both meant for relaxation. The adults-only areas there, I think there is one on Royal Caribbean's Island, which I don't think I saw. But it was a great time. So both are great. It's just a matter of the number of people and what works better for you. Yes, Castaway Cay is a little bit more relaxing, in my opinion, a little bit more private, in my opinion. That's what puts it over the edge for me. Good question. Don't be afraid to follow up questions too. How about the cleanliness? Angela, I felt it was very clean on board Royal Caribbean. I think that Disney probably takes that to the next level to a small degree, but I think both of them were really, really clean. I didn't notice anything major in terms of the differences, but they were both fantastic. Great questions. I love them. How are the masks on the ship? Did you feel safe? Yes, you do. We all did feel safe. I felt very safe, so it was no issue. They've recently changed that policy, so policies are changing all the time. Be sure to check on the different websites if you're thinking about cruising. Those policies are changing constantly. So I can tell you what the policy is now. You can take off your mask inside and outside if you're fully vaccinated on board the Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and that's the only update I know. But be sure to check out the website, the Royal Caribbean or Disney website, wherever you're going, they will update it. They're updating it all the time. It's better that you check there. I want to make sure you get the right information. Oh, you prefer Coco Cay? Well, let me know. Do you prefer Coco Cay or Castaway Cay? If you've been to either one, I want to hear it. Castaway, hands down. Okay, all right, Christy, good to know. The Castaway Cay is super relaxing. It really is. There's something to be said about Castaway Cay. No question about it. Do I like the bigger ships? Great question. I do. I really do. I think that there's a lot to be said for them, especially when we get on board an Oasis Class in the future. Come on, let me know if you've been on Oasis Class. Give me the hands up in the air if you've been on the Oasis Class. But that's one that's got the garden inside. It's much bigger. It's got the water show. It looks amazing. There's a video I've got coming out which talks more about that, which I'm looking forward to. But Wonder of the Seas, Symphony, Harmony, they all look great. The food, good question. That fun, awesome. You got a great question there. Oh, best spot to stay on the ship. I like midships or forward. Usually over the rear, so sometimes can get bumpy no matter which cruise line you're on. But the question about food. The food on board Royal was not as good as Disney, hands down. There were a few standout items that you probably saw from the vlog, which were amazing and comparable with some of the best Disney items. However, the Royal food was not even close to the quality of the Disney food. That being said, I have heard from friends who have told me that I've got to try some of those specialty restaurants, the ones that cost money, right? There's an additional cost to them, but apparently they're worth it. We'll have to try it next time for sure. Food better? Disney Cruise Line for sure. Oh, no question. Let's see. Is rapid app? Okay, so I don't know about any of the testing, Teresa. Good question. Again, any of the policy updates, I'm not keeping up with it quite as well as the cruise lines are. So we're looking for the policy updates and what they need for testing and all that. Check the cruise line websites. They're going to be the most updated. That's the way to go. With such a big ship, does cabin location matter much? Good question. I thought that it kind of does. At the same time, it depends what you're doing. Because there's things to do on every side of the ship, right? Like the Johnny Rockets is near the front, or the forward. Oh my, we got to get ship lingo. And the flow riders near the rear or aft. So it's one of those things that you gotta kind of look into. I've been on the Harmony. That sounds cool. I want to try Allure, Oasis. Oh, I gotta try those too. My gosh. Royal is requiring vaccinations to sail. Yes, they are, but there's a whole thing. Check their websites. Any of the policies regarding health and safety, please check those websites because they're changing all the time. That's the best place to go because I don't want to give you information that it's like different tomorrow. That's very important. Did I like the rooms on Royal? Yes, I did, but they were about 50 square feet smaller than a comparable room on Disney. I just did some research for an upcoming video where we looked at the comparable rooms and prices. Anyone have any questions about that? Between Royal and Disney, and they're about a little bit smaller on Royal. Good question, though. Good question. Is the junior suite worth the upgrade on Royal Caribbean? I've never been. I've heard it's great. I did not take it. There's a bidding thing they do with Royal Caribbean where you can bid for even better suite. That sounds cool. Food on Oasis Class is good. All right, well, there's one to try, Leo. I definitely have to try the food on Oasis Class. I have heard that before. That's cool. How is it doing the 7-day versus the 7-day versus the 3-day? Great question, Zach. I think that a 7-night is a longer vacation. It's great. There's something to be said for a more relaxing vacation too. I prefer the 7 nights, but I do like the 3 nights. I really do. The reason why, it gives you kind of an introduction. You can see a new ship. You can get kind of that weekend trip going. It's great. It's great for that regard, and it's just a lot of fun. Between the two, I'd go 7-night every time, but I do like the 3 nights too. I really do. Do you plan to go Disney cruise again? Yes, I do. Sooner than you might think. Platinum Disney, but sailing on Royal for the first cruise. Oh, wow. First Royal cruise. Thanks for your videos. They were great. Don, I'm so glad they helped. I've been on Oasis. That sounds fun. We're going to get on Oasis for sure. Did you get seasick at all? I did not. Good question. That does happen, though, so be prepared. Bring all the things that you need for preparation. Oh, smash that like button. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate that. What's your opinion on the Disney Magic? I went there in summer. I went back on it in the summer. I love the Disney Magic. I do. It's a great ship. The newer ships for Disney are starting to really show it. It's a really good experience on all the Disney ships, but the newer ones have more to offer, which are just so much fun. I loved it. Try the specialty restaurants. I will definitely do that. So get ready. There will be an update in the future where we try specialty restaurants for sure. What was my favorite part of the cruise? Oh, such a good question. Am I allowed to say Flow Rider? I loved the Flow Rider. I loved it. It was awesome. It's one of those things that you kind of want to go back again and again. And I almost got to a point where I could spin. And maybe next time I should stand up. If you think I should stand up the next time we're on Flow Rider, give me a surfing emoji in the comments. I want to see if you think we should stand up next time. Food varies ship to ship, no question. Can't wait for you and Dave to go on another adventure. Oh yeah, we'll do another adventure together. We're both doing a lot of things. David's got a lot of cool content coming out too. Which kids splash area looks better? Bernice, great question. I'm actually going to expand your question to more kids areas in general. I personally believe that Disney does the kids thing better than Royal. That's me. I felt that it was good for families. I love all these surfing emojis. Love all those. I thought that Disney was a little bit better for families in that regard, but Royal does a good job too. There are things that are family friendly on all the ships, on both the ships that I went on, but I really felt like Disney does it a bit better. I really do. That's just me. So one of those things to think about. Oh, you thought it was a beast in the floor? Oh, thank you very much. Seemed busy. Yeah, that's the thing. The pool and the hot. This is a really interesting factor here. The pool and the hot tub were so busy the entire time we couldn't go in them. The entire time we were on board the Independence of the Seas. That's how busy they were, and that's a big difference between Royal and Disney and the number of people on board. Technically there were far less people on board the Royal ship than the Disney ship, but the pools were still swamped every day. I never got in. And that goes to show that they're crowded. So one of those things to think about. And you've seen us get in the Disney pools and hot tubs all the time. So it's one of those things to think about. Which Disney ship is your favorite Frontier? This is very likely going to change in the future. By the way, your surfing emojis, that's going to inspire me to stand up on the Flow Rider in the future. So stay tuned. I did try the casino on board. Watch those vlogs. You'll see it. What was the question? I've already forgotten the question. Oh, Disney ship is my favorite. I think of all the Disney ships, the Fantasy and the Wonder. Those are the two that kind of grab my attention. I don't know. Those are the longer ones, and I love them. The Dream, I haven't been back on in a long time. I'm looking forward to getting back on the Dream, so it'll be good. Will you do an Alaskan cruise with Disney or another line? At this point, and this is where a really big factor comes in, Disney and Royal both are great. And if you're looking for the destination, this is how I would think about it too, in terms of pricing too. But in terms of the destination, are you there to see the destination or are you there to be on the cruise ship? Both have valid points. And I think for many, when you're on Disney, it's more about that cruise ship. And when you're on Royal, it's more about the destination and a little bit of the cruise ship. That's just how I see it. Let me know if you agree with that. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. Cast members versus crew members. Oh, yes, though they were all great. Is Disney worth the extra cost versus Royal Caribbean? Here's where we get to the really good question. Jason, is Disney worth the additional cost? Let's just take a hypothetical situation. I did some research for an upcoming video. You've got a 3-night, right? Let's just do apples to apples. A veranda, 3-night on a veranda Disney Dream, okay? Disney Dream, 3-night veranda, right? You're able to go on that 3-night Disney cruise for $2,000. $2,000. 3-night Disney cruise. Disney has gotten more expensive than Disney Cruise Line recently. We all know this. And many other things. Royal Caribbean, by comparison, a 7-night. Remember, 3-night versus 7-night. Royal Caribbean, same veranda, a little smaller veranda, but same class veranda. 7-night versus The 3-night on the Dream, 7-night on the Wonder of the Seas, the latest and greatest, also $2,000. 7 nights, 3 nights. Same room, and more than twice as long. There's something to be said for that. That, I think, is a really valid argument for maybe Royal is more worth it. You know, I want to go on Disney. I want to experience Disney. And maybe if you can get some of those deals in certain times of year and last minute, you can find some deals on the Disney Cruise Line website. But there's something to be said for that, you know, much, much lower price you can find on Royal. It could be half, third, maybe even a quarter of the price, depending on when you're going. There's a big difference there. So yes, I do think that Royal is worth it for those savings in many situations. Great question. That being said, I love Disney. Don't take away from that. I'm telling you like it is. I'm just being honest. Do you think adults without kids would be more apt to enjoy Royal over Disney? Great, Michael. This is such a good question. It depends on you. What do you want on your cruise adventure? Are you interested in the Disney experience? Or you go back, watch some of those cruise vlogs on Disney and kind of compare it to Royal. I personally think that it depends completely on you. For me, I love going from dining room to dining room and seeing the characters and kind of the more lavish experience with Disney, but I also really want to go on more Royal Caribbean cruise ships. I want to go on an Oasis Class really bad. We're going to go this year for sure. I don't know when, but at some point. But those are the kind of factors to weigh out. Great question. Because it was a short cruise, that's why the pools were packed. Eli, I don't think you're wrong. Yeah. Let's see. Are you planning on doing? Oh, I already did a Star Wars Day at Sea cruise. Those are great. Please do an Alaskan cruise. That is on my mind. No question. Michael, I've been able to see 2 times in 1 week. Oh, cool. Let's see. Was there a difference in atmosphere? Was Disney more magical and Royal more adventurous? There was a difference in atmosphere. There was, but it wasn't quite different enough where it's like, oh, I'm let down, right? It's just when you step on Disney, it's like, oh, welcome to the K family as an example, and it's like, oh my gosh, and they're lavish and they're everywhere. And Royal, it's like, oh, we're on a cruise adventure and we're having a great time. Look at these places to see and places to go, right? There is a difference, no question in my mind, but it's not so dramatic where you're feeling like you really lost anything. You know, it's different, but you didn't, in my opinion, didn't really lose anything. You didn't lose much. How's that? Norwegian Bliss. That's one we got to try. Oh my gosh, that's one we got to try. Let me know if you've tried Norwegian before. Give us a thumbs up if you've tried Norwegian before. And you know what? Since we're on this question, if you've tried multiple different lines, what's the next one we should try? Let me know right now in the comments. And with your suggestion, put a little cruise ship emoji so we know to look for it in the comments here or the chat. Should it be, what's the priority for the next one? We've done Royal and you can put Royal. Yeah, we've done Disney, we've done Royal. Should it be Norwegian, Celebrity, Princess? One of these? Let me know. Which private island do you like better? I do like Castaway Cay better. Good question. Following that one up. A lot of questions about upcharges. Thank you very much to our moderator team for keeping me on these questions. There's a lot of questions coming in. If you didn't get yours answered yet, don't be afraid to let me know. If there's like a pause, don't be afraid to ask again. We'll get to it. Yes, upcharges. Great questions. You know, I really didn't see as many as I was thinking I'd see. I was thinking that everything was going to be an upcharge. The flow rider, the rock climbing, the ice skating. None of those were an upcharge. None. Zero. They were all included. That surprised me. I really did not think that was going to happen. So, yes, there were upcharges for things like alcohol, casino, the escape room, excursions, soda. Soda, that's a big difference between, you get I told you in the vlog, iced tea and lemonade and water and hot tea and coffee were included, but all the other sodas were not. You got to get a soda package for that. So, great questions all around. Okay, we're seeing a lot of great suggestions here. Will you do concierge on Disney? One day for sure. Princess for Alaska. Oh, that sounds cool. All right, we're seeing a lot of princesses. We're seeing Carnival, Norwegian, Carnival, Princess. Oh my gosh, so many great ones. I love all these suggestions. Thank you for them. We'll have to try it. Do you think you would be down for a 12-night Disney Magic European cruise? 100%. 100%. Yeah. You'll love Norwegian. Okay, we'll have to try that in the future for sure. Okay, ready for more questions? Don't be afraid to ask them. We got lots of time, so don't be afraid to ask those questions. Ooh, yes, the go-karts. I have seen the go-karts on one. I think it was Norwegian has the go-karts. It looks fantastic. We got to try them for sure. If you've tried go-karts at sea, let me know. Or you know what? I think there's a lot of other activities to try. There's these pedal bikes on a Carnival one. They've almost got like a mini roller coaster on one. There's tons. There's tons to do. There's laser tag on many of the Royal cruise ships, which I'm looking forward to too. Oh, here's an interesting question. Many people are complaining about Disney losing the magic. I don't agree, but I want to know what you think. I think that companies, like every company in the world, has these changes that happen, and it's just part of the experience we have, right? So things will go up and down and change, and those of us who have loved Disney for so long are not going to change our love for the magic, of course. Instead, we'll kind of adapt, and we'll see different things. And I trust me, Disney's just going to kind of keep changing as we go. We've seen Disney do things that we sometimes agree with, and sometimes we don't, and that's just part of the process. So I think that those of us who love Disney, we're going to keep on loving what it stands for, what it means to us, and I think that's very important. So, my opinion. Great question. Do you think better service from Disney cast or Norwegian crew members? I haven't been on Norwegian, but I'll let you know when we try it. How are the shows in Independence of the Seas? Truth time, I didn't see Grease when we were on board. I didn't. Yeah, we were doing the Super Bowl, which was more important to me. But from what I've heard, Disney's got the shows hands down. Great question. On board, stage entertainment, minus the back of an Oasis Class water show, which I've heard is pretty good. Disney's got it in terms of entertainment. Those shows on Disney Cruise Line, I can see again and again and again, and they're outstanding every time. There's one, don't be afraid, all those men out there, tearjerker, Believe. Disney Believe is going to be, just real quick, I'm telling you. Was there a lot of extra charges for things you would normally get on Disney? Not that I experienced. Soda would be the only one that would be a big difference for me. I was honestly, again, it's still a good question. I was expecting more upcharges, but there really weren't. So good question. What did you miss most from not being on a Disney cruise? Oh my gosh, great question, Matt. I would say the feeling of lavish luxury. That's Disney's got that down really well. They do it extremely well. So it's just one of those things to think about. They do it really does feel super luxurious. If we do an Oasis Class, would you do the inside boardwalk facing balcony or outside ocean facing balcony? I would do ocean facing personally. I did look at that one, and it's just one of those things that I don't know. I just prefer. What was it like cruising? Oh, I know. I cruised with some friends who were not going to be on camera. So good question though. Yeah, no, I know. I cruised with friends who didn't want to be on camera, and it was great. We had a great time. Did you miss characters or think about them? I thought about them. I thought about them. I actually thought about the photo package too, because the photo package I believe has gone up in price on Disney Cruise Line, and usually I'm a big fan of the photo package, but for like $300 for a 7-night, it's like, okay, maybe not. So I think Disney's going to lower that price a little bit for the photo package, and I know it's a third-party company who does it, but still, it's a lot. It's one of those things that once you get on Royal, it's like, oh, maybe I don't need the photo package. I can take the photos myself. So yeah, one of those things. All right, so back to the cost comparison. What did you think about the comparison? I did mention this earlier, but I'll kind of rehash it real fast. I really felt like for the experience I had, I did not have a third of the fun. I did not have only a quarter of the fun, despite being a third or a quarter of the price. So I think there's something to be said there. I think for the destination, Royal has a really good job. For the cruise line itself, the cruise ship itself, Disney does a great job. Great question. The Royal Odyssey, you saw, looked awesome. Oh, yeah, no, it did. Didn't it look so cool with the North Star going up in the... That was so cool. How much was the water park? Oh, such a good question. The water park, Thrill Water Park, depending on when you book it. If you book it in advance, it's supposed to be like $80, $85. When you actually get there, it's like over $100, something like that. It was expensive, but it was a ton of fun. The question is, would I do it again with the same expense? Probably not, just because I think it was really expensive for what it was. It was great. I loved it. It's just I was expecting a tiny bit more of the slides for the price, personally. But it was still a great time. I'm really glad we went. Last minute change. It was like, okay, wait, let's do the Thrill Water Park. It was great. Definitely get what you pay for with Disney. I agree. I do agree you get what you pay for with Disney. I think they do a good job with that. But I don't think you only get a third of the fun with Royal at the same time. So, was the dinner the same for everyone? Yes, it was. And that's one of the things that really is one of those big differences between Disney and Royal. You're not moving around. You go to the same restaurant every night. And if you've been on many Disney cruises, as I have, it's one of the things that kind of throws you off. You're like, oh, wait, we're back here again. It's not a disappointment. It's almost like it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it wasn't, the dining didn't blow me away. I was expecting a little bit more from the dining, but we will try I've heard you, we'll try the extra dining next time for sure. Ocean facing for sure. I agree. The balcony ocean facing is what I recommend. Right. Disney does not do discounts. The only thing they will do is like seasonal. Sometimes the seasons will be a little more or less expensive. And if you can get one last minute, a lot of last minute cruises can be pretty good depending on what happens. Was the ocean calm during your cruise? It was, and I think that was a great part of the experience. It was really nice. Will you do a Panama Canal cruise? I so want to do a Panama Canal cruise, but again, considering the expense, maybe it's better to do like a royal ship that goes through Panama Canal, unless they don't fit. I actually haven't looked into that, but yeah. Apologies for asking again. No need to apologize. I want to make sure we get that. When you walk off Royal Caribbean, is a sticker price all you pay or what you bill at the? Oh, let me actually reread that. When you walk off, port fees. Such a good question, Amy. I'm getting your question now. The question is, at the end of the cruise, is there a sticker shock? Is there a bill that comes at the end like you get with Disney? Let me kind of explain this. At the end of a Disney cruise, there are tips. You can have them included. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of minimize that. But if you don't include, let's pretend you just don't include any tips or anything like that, or extra fees at the end. Disney has a little bit of a sticker shock at the end, maybe $200, depending. There's a lot of things that vary at the very end of the cruise that I guess you kind of expected, but sometimes you don't expect. First time I went on that longer cruise with David, and we had that double dip, it was a little sticker shock. But Royal didn't have that. It was about $50 at the end for tips and everything for Royal. And I know it's a 3-nighter, but it didn't have the same level of sticker shock, but they're similar. Good question. Was room service included like Disney? Yes, it was. Good question. But there is a service fee. Kind of like a tip, but it's a service fee. I don't know if tips included with that. If you know, let us know. I'm struggling with going on any other cruise. I'm afraid disappointed. Disney's the best. It is one of those things that so here's the key, right? Here's the trick. Go into it with the right mindset. That's exactly what I did. I went into it just being like, you know what? I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to go and experience the Caribbean. I'm going to have a wonderful time. I'm going to sit out in the sun, and I'm going to enjoy. I just went into it with that mindset. I did not go into it with the mindset of comparing it the whole time. I was just like, okay, I'm going to have a great time. Let's do it. And then afterwards, we talk about the comparisons. And the reality is, they're both great. There's something to be said about the lower price on Royal, but also the magic on Disney. There's something to be said for that. Alaskan cruise and Quantum of the Seas. That sounds awesome. We cruise Disney specifically for the amount of kid-friendly activities whole family can do, not just kids clubs. Do you think Royal is little kid-friendly? Katie, great question. I think Disney does it better. Straight up. I think Disney does it better in terms of the kid-friendly activities that families can participate in. One of the ways that I know this is because of the open houses. The kids club. We didn't really get a chance to see inside the Royal Kids Clubs, but I spoke to a few folks who had kids who went to the kids club, and it's not much in there. Disney does that far better. That's a big difference. If you've got little ones not quite ready for flow rider and rock climbing and ice skating, that might be it. That might be the reason to stick with the Disney Cruise Line. I 100% would understand that. Tips are not included on Royal. Right. Okay. So yeah, that's important to know. And room service has an upcharge. I think it's like $7, something like that for every time you get it. I don't know what it is, but it changes. Was the casino fun? If you like casinos, I suppose it'd be fun. But I'm not a big casino guy. I'm not really a big gambling guy. So for me, it was cool experience, but it wasn't the reason why I was there. Are you supposed to tip the waiter after you eat? Oh, you can. It goes under your bill. So you at the end of the cruise, you just pay the bill, which was about $50 for all the tips, which for a 3-nighter. So it's pretty standard. You got your first cruise. Make-A-Wish in 2010. That sounds amazing. So you're glad you had a good time. What do you think the next Disney ship will be called? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe the Enchantment. Could be. Do you like the traditional dining? Michael, you mean traditional on Disney or traditional on Royal? I prefer Disney dining experience for sure. Because you're always changing. Okay, we're going to Artist's Palette. And we're going to Enchanted Rose. We're changing it up. That's one of those things that I think is worth it. And it's one of the things that I love about Disney Cruise Line. And I really hope to dive more into cruising, by the way. Cruising is going to be a big focus for me in 2022, I think, and beyond. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I missed it. Did you ever try the water slides on the cruise? Yes, I did. I couldn't bring the camera on board, but it was fun. They were not the most intense water slides. I think Disney's got better slide experiences on board the cruise line. Straight up, great question. Yeah, that's a good question. $7.95 charge per order for room service. Jason, thank you for finding that for us and telling us. Appreciate that. There you go. There's your answer. Who has the better cabin atmosphere? Will, good question. I think that Disney has a slight better cabin atmosphere just because there's two reasons, and this is nitpicking, by the way. There are these, oh my gosh, pillars in the walkways of the Royal Caribbean cruise ship, Independence anyway. And they kind of throw off the way you're walking down the hallway. That's nitpicking, by the way. Inside the stateroom, you get about 50 square feet more, and of course, the split bathroom makes a huge difference, especially with 2 people. That I think is a big component of it, and I think the staterooms just had a little bit more flair to them with Disney. Not huge things. We're nitpicking here, but it's a good question. If you had to hop on a ship tomorrow, don't twist my arm there, Ethan. I'm just kidding. Would you go back on Disney, or would you go to another Royal? Disney. I would. I mean, I'm telling you, I do prefer Disney between the two, but I still love Royal and I want to go back, right? We're allowed to love multiple cruise lines, all right? We're allowed to love them all. Don't be afraid to love them all. But I think, Royal's really, really great with some of those special activities on board, some of the itineraries they go on, and the price. Those are big. Was the formal dress code enforced? Not even close. Not even close. Good question. Will you ever do a viewer cruise? Oh, we got some coming up. I love the Comfy Bed Disney Cruise Line. How about Royal Caribbean? That's a really good question. I didn't notice a huge difference, but to be honest with you, I'm not the best judge of bed softness. So I'm just going to say they're similar, at least as far as I saw it. I am not a good judge of that. Good question. Who has better quality service, Royal Caribbean crew or Disney cast? Great question, Jason. The service and quality of service on board Disney is better than Royal. Not tremendously, but enough for you to notice. And it is, I think it comes down to that, more expensive, right? If it's more expensive, you expect the higher quality service. It's a great question, and I think it's one of those things that Royal, my understanding is the Oasis Class kind of takes that up to the next level. So we'll have to see when we get on board, but it'll be good. Sorry if I missed it. Better food, Disney. Good question. You got to try specialty dining next time. We will. We're going to try specialty dining next time. I promise. We will. Michael, I'm 6'3". I'm afraid of shower heights. How does Royal compare to Disney? Good question. I think that Royal's really got it in terms of the height of the shower, and that's one of the things that I noticed. I'm about 6 foot. So for me, the Disney cruise, the ceiling is basically at my head, and taller ones are going to be just fine on Royal. Disney, you might have to duck down a little bit. One of those very important factors. What was your favorite Disney cruise restaurant? Oh my gosh. How do I choose one? All right. Well, before I choose, you let me know your favorite. Everyone in the chat, what is your favorite Disney Cruise Line restaurant? Now's the time. And Paul, you can say Paulo or Remy too. I'm going to say, such a good question. I'm going to say Enchanted Garden or probably Enchanted Garden. Yeah. I don't know. No, it can't be Enchanted Garden. I don't know. Animator's Palette? I want to try the Frozen one or the Marvel one on the Wish. Anybody else? Yeah. Better suited for adults. They're both great for adults, but if you want less kids on board, Royal, easy. I think both are good for adults, though, honestly. Yeah, Animator's Palette's amazing. Animator's Palette. There's something to be said about Animator's Palette. I don't know. I just like the food at Enchanted Garden so much, but Animator's Palette with the experience inside that restaurant is out of this world. It's amazing. Palo Brunch. By the way, the new Palo dining experience is not the buffet. The Brunch right now is not the buffet, from my understanding. It's a service restaurant. They'll bring you the food. You order it. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know. But that's my understanding. Rapunzel's on the Magic. Oh my gosh, that's a good one too. And Tiana's. Almost forgot. It's been so long. Yeah, I love Tiana's. Oh gosh, maybe that is the winner. I love the. Oh, you know what? Okay, I got to backtrack. It might be Tiana's place. This is too good. Too good. Black truffle pasta. Right. There's so many good options. And I think that's really where Disney shines, is the dining. Yeah, we got to try specialty dining, and we will. But the fact that, I mean, look at this. Like, the price for Royal is less than Disney every time. But if you're going for the specialty dining, which we've got to try, it might make a difference. So it's something to think about. Which bathroom setup is better? Disney. Instantly. It's better. Just because the split bathroom. Actually, you know what? Backtracking again. The shower size inside of the Royal Caribbean cruise ship was really nice. Yeah. Okay, so they're both good, but I would still pick Disney. Tiana's is amazing. Split bathroom. That's 100%. That's 100%. I know, it's so good. I'm going on Symphony of the Seas in August. Do you have any tips? Such a good question. I would recommend planning out what your nights will look like. I think that Well, you know what? Actually, there's not. No, strike that. That's more of a Disney World thing. No, go and have a great time. No big tips. Just be sure to pack everything you need for that adventure. That's my tip. I keep thinking of like you got to plan it out for Disney World. Good questions. All right, if you didn't get a chance to ask a question earlier, or I perhaps accidentally missed your question, now's the time to ask it again. Please don't be afraid. Let me know in the comments if you have a question about Royal versus Disney, other cruise lines to try, or even just a suggestion. I want to know it in the comments. Huge appreciation for you being here, and thanks to our moderator team for making sure we're all having a good time. Is it worth it for a couple, early 20s, I love these specific questions, by the way, without kids to go on a Disney cruise? Lily, I believe that the Disney Cruise Line is great for everybody. That's me. I think that everyone can have a great time on board. I've talked to people who didn't think that they'd love Disney. I actually spoke to someone who works with Disney Cruise Line, and they had like a brother-in-law, someone like that, who's like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to be a part of it. Too many kids. They went, and now they can't stop going. They only go Disney. So there is something to be said for it. Disney is going to be great for all ages and all folks, in my opinion. Great question. Any plans on trying concierge at some point? For sure. We are sailing a Disney Wish in August. Woo, can't wait. Round of golf. Oh, I love golf. I've been so busy recently, but yeah, for sure, golf. I haven't been back out there in a while. I've heard many people say that late dining has less kids and it's better. Do you agree? Great question, William. I personally believe that late dining does have less kids during normal times with the Disney Cruise Line. Right now, they are not sailing with the full ship. There's been a lot of openings. So I will let you know when I try early dining again, which could be soon. So yeah, I think that I do generally agree. Late dining has fewer kids. That being said, it's 8 o'clock or 8:15 dining. That's kind of late, so something to think about. Which one would you go on again? Both. I'm going on both again. Instantly. I can answer that one easily. First time Disney cruise, which ship would you recommend? Great question. I personally recommend one of the smaller ships, Wonder or Magic. The only reason is because taking the steps from the smaller ship up to the bigger ship feels really great. I went the reverse way. I went the bigger ship to the smaller ship. I mean, it's not huge, but it might be something that kind of it's something special. Yeah. But if you want some of the newer stuff, I'd go on one of the bigger ships. Good question. Michael, which Disney ship would you recommend for a person who's looking at their first Disney cruise? Great question. If you're first Disney cruisers or first cruiser in general, a lot of folks do like to try the 3 nights. And 3 nights great for your first time. That's why I did it for Royal. I love it. 3 nights also great for like a quick getaway. If you just got a little bit of time to get away, 3 night is amazing for that. And I am going on more 3 nights for sure. But if you are interested in that full cruise experience, the 7 nights is the way to go, in my opinion. And if you're looking at going on a cruise the first time, especially Disney cruise, Angela, as your question is, one of the newer ships, I think, is the way to go. If you get a chance to go on the Wish, do that. Go Key or Castaway Key. Castaway is my favorite, but if you look further back in the stream, I did go into more detail on that. Great question. Holland, America. Ooh, I have heard about that, Paul. Huh. Okay, I will add it to the list. Thank you. If you have any other suggestions, let me know. Great question, or great suggestion. Thank you. Scale from 1 to 10. Scale out of 10 on the ship you just went on. What's the scale? I loved it. I don't know. What would you consider a 10? Like my best cruise ever on Disney Cruise Line? If the best cruise ever on Disney Cruise Line is a 10, then I will give the Independence of the Seas, the cruise we just went on, an 8.5. That's how good it was. It's really good. The only reason why I give that is because the food and the feeling of luxury on board. Great question. You receive 50% off your slow down there. Future cruise. That's awesome, Mike. Since our Wish cruise was canceled, so we booked the Wonder Alaska for July. You're going to have a fantastic time. Have you ever been thinking about going on Symphony of the Seas? How about Wonder of the Seas? No, I'm kidding. They're similar ships. We'll definitely get on them. I was in the Magic a couple weeks ago when we actually canceled our Apollo dinner because it was similar to what we were eating at Animators. The brunch at Apollo was 1,000,000% better. I agree. I think that Apollo brunch is really the best on board. Do the bigger ships have a smoother ride? You mean in terms of Royal size? I don't think so. I think that that is not directly comparable, the size of the ship. The newer ships have stabilizers, very special stabilizers that kind of jut out into the water. You don't see them. I did some research on it was a really cool documentary I watched about the cruise line, Secrets of the Cruise Ships. It's on Amazon. Anyway, no, they still get bobbed with the waves. The very last night we had a lot of rocking. I was like asleep, so it was like rocking me to sleep, which was nice. But you still feel it. 7-foot swells, so yeah, still feel it. Do Norwegian next. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, we'll have to do it. We're going to try a lot of different cruise lines. If you allowed to pick one, would you go on one? Oh, I'd definitely go on another cruise for sure, especially Royal. Is Disney more expensive than Celebrity or Princess? Good question. I actually haven't done the research on that. You let me know. My understanding is that Disney is one of the more expensive ones by far. Which ships are better? It's hard to say which are better. There's different activities on both. I prefer Disney. I'm being honest with you. I do prefer Disney because of the luxury feel and the better food. It doesn't take away from my appreciation and real admiration for Royal. Great question. My favorite itinerary, Harvey, great question. At the time of this recording, is the Eastern Caribbean 7-night cruises. Love those. I know I haven't really had a chance to explore the islands as much as I would have liked because we're always like, I want to see the ship, right? That's my priority. But we're going to do more of those for sure, and I just love them. I really, really do. Great questions. Let's see. Any more questions? If I missed your question earlier, please don't be afraid to restate it. Give it like 2 or 3 minutes and restate it. I'm going to try and get to as many as possible. How were the slides on the island? The slides on the island were great. It was just a little bit expensive to get on board. Holland down the line for you a few years. Excellent product. I want to try it for sure. Do you feel movement more in smaller ships? I think the movement really doesn't matter on the size of the ship. I think it's the more recent ships have better technology to help with that. Good question, but again, the size of the ship, I know it's easy to kind of think about it in terms of size of the ship, but they still kind of get bobbed around by those waves. They can't really prevent that. So I think it's the newer ships that are going to feel less of the back and forth than the bigger ships. Good question. Dream and Fantasies are sister ships, exactly. Does the Independence have stabilizers? My understanding is yes. If someone knows, please let me know. So excited to try Royal Caribbean. We tried it. Loved it for adults. It is so great. It is so great. What's your favorite Disney cabin? Oh, veranda. I really love veranda. It depends on what you're going to do. Because if you're on board the Disney Cruise Line, the veranda is so great. So is Royal. Both of them have such great verandas. Such great verandas. So good question. Let's see here. Does the Royal Caribbean have a spa like the Disney Cruise Line? Yes, it does. Yes, we didn't get a chance to see it, but they do have that spa, which is great. Price is higher on Disney, but product falls into the same segment as cruising with Celebrity or Princess. Right. So that's the difference. Right? Disney is trying to go for that kind of higher level brand, and it's kind of like them right now. But yeah, you do feel the difference. You do, no question. Is Coco Key water park better than Disney Volcano Bay's? Ooh, such a good question. I think that Volcano Bay has got something special. If you love water parks, I'd go to Volcano Bay. I love the Disney water parks too, but I think Volcano Bay has it at the moment. Not kidding. Royal Caribbean was great. Coco Key Thrill Park, a little expensive though, but a lot of fun. You can say you went on the highest water slide in the Northern Hemisphere, which I thought was pretty cool. We got some of those questions already. Great questions. Notice other restaurants such as Pizza Place. Were they included? Great question. That pizza place, Sorrento's Onboard Independence, was included. They had pizza and they had some of the items that you can find inside of Windjammers, which is the buffet or the buffet upstairs that serves lunch and breakfast and dinner. So yes, it was included. I did not think it was. I was wrong. It is. Good question. Let's see. I was watching your videos. You're always so calming, making me want to go on one so badly. I'm so glad it helps. I'm so glad. I got to tell you, once you start cruising, if you haven't been before, you are going to just get hooked. It's an immediate hook. It's amazing. For Royal, same menu each night. Oh, great question. It's not the same menu each night. Let me kind of walk you through it. You get a similar menu. They have what's called the classics, where it's the same food every single night. The classics are like half of the menu. Same food every night. You can get them the entire cruise. Then you've got the ones that kind of vary from night to night. Excuse me. And from what I've heard, that is the one to get. And I've had, we tried both. And the food just wasn't as good as Disney. I do want to try the premium restaurants, as I've mentioned. But yeah, it's a good question. Holland America is an older crowd. Okay, good to know. Super chat. Oh, that's super thoughtful of you. Actually, we have Patreon, who patrons make it all possible. So good question. But I really do appreciate it. And we share a lot of behind the scenes on Patreon, how it happens, more about my life. It's a lot of fun. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the Ahi Tuna Tower? Ooh, an Enchanted Garden. That's a 10. That's 10. I didn't have to think much. Good question. Let's see. How much was the Wi-Fi? Good question, Michael. I didn't look into the exact details of the Wi-Fi, but onboard chat was not included. By the way, if anyone knows for sure, and I believe this is the case, iMessage, I think, is being rolled out on Disney Cruise Line, included with your cruise. So we'll look into that. But I think for iPhone users, iMessage is going to start becoming included, which is pretty cool. Let's see. 3-night cruise in Royal Caribbean tend to be more party crowd. Long-term cruises are more tame. It's good to know, Kimberly. I'm saying we're learning something all the time. Appreciate that. Good insight. Is the same menu each night with Royal? Okay, we just answered that. Good question. You really missed this interaction. Well, Jamie, I'm so glad. We're going to try. We are changing up the channel, as you know. We're going to have videos consistently Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we're going to try and make those streams on Saturday. That is not a definite schedule. Still tying down a few things, but stay tuned. We'll be updating everybody on what we're doing. But I love traveling. I love sharing these things with you. I love Disney. I love sharing all the adventures. Stay tuned. A lot of fun things coming our way. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. It means a lot. If you're enjoying this type of video, please do give me a thumbs up in the thumbs up thing and also in the chat, so I know that you enjoy this type of live chat where we can just chat about things and talk about, you know, Royal and Disney and all the fun adventures we go on. And I love the games, too. We got to get back to the games. Photo trivia. That'll be good. The Flow Rider. Oh, it was so fun. Yeah, Surf Lessons, Typhoon Lagoon. That's a good idea, but I feel like the Flow Rider, it's more, I don't know, is it more novice? I don't know. I thought by the end, did you see at the end of the cruise, we were really getting it. It was kind of long. Which cruise has more value for what you paid? Such a good question. I think they both offer value, and I'm so glad you asked that question. I think is it Malcott? Malcott. I think that for what you get on Disney, it is a great experience. It's a little bit more, it's more expensive than Royal, but let's weigh it out this way. On Royal Caribbean, it's anywhere between half to a third the price of Disney Cruise Line usually. The question is, do you get only half or a third of the fun? No. Do you feel the difference between Disney and Royal? Yes, you do. Is it substantial? Not in most aspects. Right, so you do get a lot for your money on Royal, which is great, but you get a premium experience on Disney. That's how I'd put it. And I think that premium experience, at least to me, is worth it. I really do love it, but I want to vary it. I want, sometimes I don't want to pay the full, that really expensive. I can go on something a third the price and still have a great time. So I will be going on more Royal and more Disney, no question. And more, for sure. I'm so glad you're enjoying this type of stream. Thanks for those thumbs up. I appreciate that. I used to work for Celebrity Ships. You must try it. I'll be trying Celebrity. I promise. I promise. I do promise. That's Claire. Thank you. Yes, if you see me in the parks, don't be afraid to come say hi. It really does mean a lot to say hi and just hear the positives that we can share with each other. That's super thoughtful of you to say. Will you come to Disneyland Paris at some point? We're going to Disneyland Paris. We actually had plans prior to all the closures way back. Now it didn't happen. This chat is great. Oh, I'm so glad. How was the ice cream? Here, Michael, good question. Actually, not as good as Disney's. I didn't mention that in the video. I didn't even think of it when we were having it. I was having too much fun. But the ice cream somehow is better on Disney. Those individual cones that you get. I don't know. I have no idea why. I don't know. They just use a different recipe, but it's a little bit better on Disney. It's enough for me to mention. So there you go. Yeah. On Disney Cruise, do you prefer Apollo brunch or dinner? Great question. Brunch every time. Every time brunch, I would almost skip dinner and go to your designated dinner on board, because the dinner you get on Disney Cruise Line included is worth it 100%. The brunch on Apollo is amazing. That's worth getting. Disney app or Royal app? They were both good, but I think Royal does a better job with the app. No question about it. The only thing that you're missing with the Royal app is the chat function, which you have to pay for with Royal instead of Disney. So, yeah, it's a good question. No, Kyle and I were not on the same cruise. A lot of people thought that, but yeah, it's people make assumptions. No, we were not on the same cruise. Did you say earlier you couldn't get in the pool either time? Right, I could not get in the pool the whole time. It was just too many people. It was just too crowded. I was just like, I don't need to be shoulder to shoulder. I kind of want a little bit of room to stretch out. That was one of the big differences between Disney and Royal. No question. No pool or hot tub time at all. I know. And maybe if I had gotten up earlier or done it like during dinner, maybe, but I don't know. It's just weird. Great information. Thank you, Deb. That really does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate knowing that it's positive for you. Which ship has the better entertainment, Disney or Royal? Oh, Disney. Easy. Which has better shopping? Here we go, Antonio. Great question. I'm going to give it to Disney because I like Disney merchandise, okay? Let's just be very clear. I like Disney merchandise. If you want other merchandise, like the things I was showing in the vlog, like the chain of gold or all those things, the watches, Royal's got some pretty good shopping on board. That being said, I prefer the Disney merchandise. So Disney, I'm going to give it to shopping, but it depends on you. Good question. Did I try the room service? No, I did not. I will try it in the future. Right. There's a patch that you can put behind your ear for seasickness. If you get seasick on board, try the patch behind your ear. I've heard good things about that. Also, I have tried the herbal version of Dramamine. I found it on Amazon. I don't know what it was. Dramamine by itself is, I'm sure, pretty good. I was looking for like a less intense one. So I got the herbal version. I don't know how effective it was, but it worked for me. So Michael's 2 cents. There you go. Michael, we love your Disney content, but we're really excited to see you do more cruise content. Well, Richard, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. We can't wait to see you explore other cruise lines. Get ready, because it's coming. I have caught this cruise bug where it's like, I just want to try all the cruise lines. I want to try them all. I'm telling you. Does Independence beat any Disney ships? Oh, gosh. Harvey, good. It's a good question, but as I think about it, it's like the competition. It's fun. It's fun. But I still prefer Disney Cruise Line. I'll be honest. I'm being honest with you. The reason why is the feeling of luxury and the different experiences you get on board. Overall, a great time. It's a great time. It is. I loved it. And I will be going back on Independence of the Seas. I have no doubt, because it's ported here in Port Canaveral. It lives here. But Disney, in my opinion, does have that premium quality, which I love. And I'm a big Disney guy, so that's a big thing. Coming here late. Good morning. Best food, Disney by far. Let's see. Celebrity is one you will enjoy. I'm going to try Celebrity. I've heard it several times now, and I really do appreciate that, Laura. Thanks for letting me know. Early or late dining. When the cruise is at port, the pools and whirlpools are usually empty. Sari, thank you very much for that tip. I didn't even think about it until you mentioned it, but now that you say it, when I would look, it was usually that way. So I'm very glad you mentioned it. Thanks for letting me know. The only difference, I was hoping to get inside on the Nassau day, but we didn't get a chance to do that either, so good question. I love all your cruise vlogs as they are so informative and helpful. I'm so glad. You're the best. Oh, Cruiser, thank you very much. That's super thoughtful of you. Right, those patches, right. Those, they made you sick? The patches made you, okay, well, I recommend the herbal Dramamine thing. Amazon, or one of those places. I'm sure that there's like an herbal Dramamine. I'm trying to be careful. It helped me a lot. Not a good time. The park. Well, the parks have been more crowded recently. I'll be honest with you. The Disney Christie, the parks have been more crowded recently. There's no question. The reservation system and all that, and a lot of people have been wanting to do it. So cruising's kind of that kind of hidden opportunity for us to kind of go, and they're not that crowded, and it was so much fun. So yeah, you can tell I had a great time. I just can't wait to get back on a cruise ship again. I don't care. I was like, any cruise ship, I want to go back on. I'm ready. Did the service compare? The service was great. It was good, but Disney service is a rung above. The next step. Good question though. I recommend anything with. Yes. Okay. So is it mezzanine for motion sickness prevention? But may make you drowsy. Okay, so there you go. Great suggestion by one of our moderators there, Christina, for a good one. That she works in medicine, so she's got a great head on her shoulders for this kind of information. So look that up for seasickness prevention. Thank you very much. I traveled with some friends who were not on camera. Good question. Coco Key, Castaway Key. Coco Key and Castaway Key are both great. Castaway Key is my favorite because of certain things, but it was one of those things where it's tough to compare because it's got the water slides versus the relaxation areas. They're both great, but Castaway Key is my favorite. I guess I grew up with it, grew up on cruising with it. Michael, I know you're a golfer. Do the cruise lines tie in golf packages at port locations? Pete, such a good question. And I love golfing. I just haven't had a chance to go recently. Yes, from time to time they do have golf things that are part of it. I don't see that frequently though. I don't know why. I've seen it once or twice, like a golf thing. But I think most of the time with what you're talking about, golf packages, that's usually done third party. My understanding. If anyone has any information about golfing when you're on a cruise ship, let me know. They have golf simulators, but the packages that you're talking about, I've seen that once or twice, not that frequently. What aha moment or shift in perspective led you to actually choose a non-Disney cruise line? Emily, good question. I've always wanted to try Royal. I just kind of been I want to do Disney, but Disney's prices have been getting really high recently, so I kind of wanted to try something else and just see what's out there. And I love these kind of experiences where you get something cool and fun and different, and I love cruising a lot, so I knew that this would be a great opportunity to do that. And I'm so glad we tried it because now I want to try a lot of different cruise lines, like a lot of them, get ready for some cruise. Are you ready? Are you? I don't know if you're ready for the cruise content that's coming. I don't know. You might not be. I'm just kidding. Can you give us a basic price comparison? Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. I did some research. I'm going to make this fast. Imagine Disney Cruise Line Dream, $2,000 veranda 3-night. $2,000 3-night veranda Disney Dream versus the Wonder of the Seas, Oasis Class, newest ship in the fleet, 7-night. $2,000. 3-night, $2,000 in the Dream. 7-night, $2,000 Wonder of the Seas. Both veranda. That's the comparison. Less than half the cost for Royal. There's a good example. There's a video coming out on this soon. You want to try Carnival? Yeah, maybe we'll try Carnival. Maybe. I kind of want to prioritize the other ones, though. Celebrity is on my mind. Norwegian. Those are the ones on my mind. Yeah, I think that those probably will be the priority for me. Oh, yeah, cruises. More cruises are coming. There are some channels like Royal Caribbean. Oh, yes. I've seen his blog. He does a good job. Deciding which cruise to choose. Yeah, he's got a good channel. I saw that. The Royal Caribbean blog. He does good. Which cruise lines are you interested in trying and why? Okay, so as I mentioned, Celebrity. I've heard the food's amazing, and it's kind of the upgrade of Royal, and also Norwegian. I want to try too. Maybe even someone mentioned Holland. Maybe I'll try that, but we'll see. We'll see. Celebrity, right? The Celebrity Equinox and the Apex I heard is good too. Maybe your opinion will change on Perfect Day once you do a chill side of the island. Maybe it will, Dominique. I don't know. Because let me tell you, they're both super good. That's a much harder comparison. Let me be very clear. The Royal Caribbean Coco... Oh, my gosh. They're both spelled the same way, all right? Coco Cay and Castaway Cay. Man, that is going to be tough. They're both great. They're both great. There's just a matter of... It's hard to compare those. Okay, so it's easier to compare the food. Let's just put it that way. The food between the two, Disney wins like by a landslide, at least in the included food. We'll try the premium food next time. But Coco Cay and Castaway Cay, they did such a good job with Coco Cay. You can find that spot to relax. You know, it's they're both great. They're too close to call. All right, there's the answer. Too close to call. I still really love Castaway Cay. It just feels more quiet and personal. That's just me, but overall, too close to call. Let's see. 7 nights better than the 3 night. Yeah, but I think that 3 nights got its place. If you want to like go a little quick trip, you don't have much time. It's really, both are. I do agree. 7 nights better, but yeah. Norwegian breakaway class. Okay, all right. We'll have to try. Give me ideas. Let's see. Better steak tenderloin or Lord Vader's on Star Wars cruise. Ooh, oh my gosh, Matt. You remember that Star Wars cruise steak we had? That was so good. I really hope they bring back the Star Wars cruise one day. I think they will. I think I'm actually going to give... I'm actually going to give this steak to Royal Caribbean. Yeah, it was an amazing beef tenderloin on Royal Caribbean. It kind of does beat that Star Wars one. Oh my gosh, hard to imagine. Yeah, it does. It was so good. Why did we go to Nassau? I wanted to experience more of the ship. I've been to Nassau before. I wanted to experience more of the ship, and they're doing a lot of construction right by the port. We'll go at some point in the future. This is so true. Disney is very expensive and maybe out of people's price ranges. Right, so it's great to kind of try new stuff. I mean, sometimes things go up and down, and trust me, the price will continue to go up and down. That's just part of the process. What would you change? Royal Caribbean food, but maybe we'll be able to change that. So we'll see about that. No, I did not go to the Galactic Star Cruise. I had better things to do. I would love to see you try Disney Cruises Concierge. I would love to try it too. I would love to try it too. Do you prefer the smaller or larger ship? That is William. You got these great questions. I'm gonna say larger on Royals. No, I'm gonna say larger on no. Oh gosh. Okay, larger on Royal. No, you know what? Let me get back to you on that question. I can't answer it because I haven't been on enough Royal Caribbean cruise ships to answer it well. In terms of Disney, there's so much. Oh wow, they're so much smaller than Royal that they're tough to. Oh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. That's too hard. I'll get back to that. Let's wait a couple months. I'll get back to that one. Was it loud in the hallways when we were trying to sleep? No. Disney or Royal? They're both great. I'm going to go with Disney, but both are amazing. I'm going back on both for sure. I did talk about value already, but they both have tremendous value. There's a lot to be experienced on both. Disney's the more premium. Royal's got more of the value, and I think it's a really good value too. Is snorkeling an option at Coco Cay? It sure is. It absolutely is. I really love snorkeling. I really love it at the Castaway Cay, but we've done it a lot. I wanted to explore the island this time, so good question. Any other last minute questions? We got a few more minutes here. I want to make sure I get as many of these questions in as possible. If you asked a question earlier and I may have missed it, or a lot of questions were going by, you didn't get a chance for me to answer it, now's your time. Go ahead and put it back in the chat as we begin to make this wrap this one up. I really appreciate everybody watching, being part of this live chat. Again, so glad to share these with you. We're going to continue these in the future as well, so it's a lot of fun to share these. What's something you didn't do that you wish you had done on the Royal Caribbean cruise? Such a good question. I think, like, you know what, the trampoline thing that we did, that I would have liked to try without the VR goggles, and in addition, the speed climbing. There's a speed climbing challenge on the rock climbing wall, which I really wish I had a chance to do on the easy side. I was on the medium one, right? There's an easy one too. It was tough. It was really tough. What's the best time of year to take a cruise? Mouse Talk, great question. I'm going to give it to it's early spring or fall, but fall's got the hurricane, so it's tough. Very, very tough. What was your favorite item you bought? Another good question. I don't know. I should have bought more on board. I didn't really buy much on board. I had that little drink, which wasn't great, but it was I didn't really buy anything extra. Good question. The next time we'll get the little ship though, for sure. Did you pay to enjoy CocoCay if you're interested in doing Thrill Water Park? Yes, the Thrill Water Park was an additional cost, and it's very expensive, but the entire CocoCay experience, which most of it was included, which kind of surprised me, was great, and I recommend it. More picture game. Oh, we'll get back to the picture game. Don't worry. That's coming up. We're going to do some Royal Picture Game for sure. Always good seeing you in the parks. I'm sure we'll see you again there. Oh, I'm sure we will. Greetings. Good to see you. Royal Caribbean or another line? Why did you choose Royal Caribbean? Well, Royal Caribbean's kind of the other name in cruising outside of Disney, at least in my world. So it's one I've been wanting to try for a while, and I'm glad I did. They do a great job. Right, so there you go. So Concierge versus Royal Caribbean one bedroom grand suite, $2,100. Disney Cruise Line Cruise Veranda, Concierge Veranda is $5,000 plus. There's a good example of real life pricing. Thank you, Kim, for that example. Wow, that's good. Magic or Wonder? I'm choosing the Wonder just because it's kind of my classic, but they're both great. Great questions all around. I love these. Let's do one or two more questions, then we're going to kind of close out with a little surprise. What's the larger cruise? Wait, Michael, the larger Oasis Class ships have a much larger variety of specialty restaurants to choose from. So I've heard. I've heard like 20 plus. They have a lot. What experience did you have to pay for on Royal Caribbean? Besides, talk about the cost of drinks. Good question. The drinks were very expensive. I don't drink much alcohol, so I didn't have any. But the what's that? Miami Vice I had, that was like $7, so that was about that price. The other things that cost additional money: the casino, the Thrill Water Park, and that's about it. Everything else, they have the premium dining, which I didn't do, but yeah, those were the only things. That was an amazing amount that was included. I was really impressed. Right, so a lot of questions being answered. Very good. Did the Windjammers have sushi area at all? Not that I saw. They may have it on longer cruises, but not that I saw on the 3-nighter. Will you try West Coast cruise? At some point, for sure. At that point, for sure. Jewel, which check-in was easier? Great question. I thought they were both easy. I thought Royal was actually a little bit easier right now, given right now's time frame. I didn't do any research in advance of some of the other ones. I did better this time, but I thought that Royal actually did a really good job of check-in. It was like that. It was you didn't wait at all. You were just there, done. So it was great. Have you done Western Caribbean? If so, do you prefer Bahamian? I don't think I've done Western Caribbean. I want to try it for sure, but I prefer Eastern Caribbean. I want to see the Eastern Caribbean areas more. Will you try ocean liners like Cunard? I might. Yeah. Do you have more cruises booked? Yes, I do. And I'm looking forward to it. Surprises. You know me, I like surprising everybody. You know I do. All right, as we begin to wrap up here, I'm going to do something special. If you have a channel that focuses on family fun and doing something together or cruising or Disney and you want to promote it, please send a link to it right now in the comments of the chat. We want to make sure we all support each other in our community. At the end of the chat here, thank you so much for sharing in it and for asking these questions. Go ahead. Put your channel link right there so we can all look for your cruise vlogs as well, so we can all support each other. I love it. So be sure to stay tuned for these links who are coming from our friends who have also cruised. I'm going to answer a few more questions here as we continue to do that. Suite class on Royal above Junior Suite is especially concierge. That sounds cool. That sounds real cool. How quick is getting off the ship Royal for ports? It's pretty quick. I thought it was pretty fast. I didn't have any issues getting off, so it was very, very good. Does Royal do photos like Disney? Okay, great question. That's so good. Yes, it does. They're not even close to the quality or the number that you get on Disney. Just like hands down. Disney does an amazing job with photos. Unbelievable job with photos. Royal did not get that level that I saw on board the Royal Caribbean Independence anyway. Maybe other cruise ships is different, but I felt the photos on Disney far outrank what you get with Disney. So great question. Thanks, Michael, for the Q&A. So glad you're enjoying it. Best family cruise line. It is, I agree. But you will be astonished at the Oasis Class ships. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Should you buy the Wi-Fi on board? If you need it, you could. But I don't recommend it because I like escaping. I don't like having the Wi-Fi when I'm on board, but it comes down to you. So I'm not a big Wi-Fi guy. Seems like the adult-only section were packed all the time, even with less capacity on the ship. I think Disney is better in terms of using the adult-only areas, which I was surprised by that too, Tiffany. I think that that was a shocker. I think Disney does do a better job, but I think it's because there are more kids on board. We're all more families, so the kids and the families stay together in the main pool, and the adults only is less crowded on Disney. That's a huge advantage. That's a big one on Disney Cruise Line, so I really loved it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up now. Thank you again. We will be doing European Disney in the future. I really appreciate sharing in it with you. I hope you enjoyed all this live chatting and the great questions. Thank you for asking them. I really do appreciate it. We're going to continue more of these Q&As, not next week, but maybe the week after. We're going to continue doing these, so really appreciate you being here and asking such wonderful questions. I hope you have a magical day and continue to smile each and every day as we look forward to the future. Looking forward to sharing more cruise adventures with you before you know it, and a lot of cruise content. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and continue smiling. Until next time, have a magical day. See you real soon.